Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is Ghost of Perdition by Opeth. This is a new band to me and to the channel. It's also a direct request. The band started in 1990, and this album came out in 2005. It's also a live performance at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. And all that I know about the group that I've been told so far is that they started out more death metal, and now they're more progressive metal. So I've been doing a lot of progressive rock on the channel and some heavy metal and symphonic metal. This is going to be great to add more progressive metal / maybe a little hint of the death metal. We'll have to see. But basically we're just going to get our metal on. So here we go. But what else are we here for? I am a professional, classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we look closely at all this music, how it's composed, the instruments that are used, maybe some music theory or instrument demos. And of course, how do we relate to this music? Why do we like it or why do we not like it? So, no more delay. Let's listen. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think we're on to the second verse. All right. That wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I guess maybe it was. I was thinking more like progressive metal, as in not as much growling and death metal kind of stuff. But if that is where they originated from, then that's what's going to be the main style here. I don't have a lot of experience with this kind of style. There's not much of a melody that I can tell, but there is because it's in the instruments, but I'm just talking about the growling vocals here. The sound of the vocals is very impressive, I just have to say. It's very grand, very operatic. But there's just not much harmonic value to it. And that doesn't have to be present. There are classical techniques in singing in which pitch is not involved, actual notes, like within a key. But I am just watching him, and the amount that he opens his mouth wide, I mean, that's really getting that big, huge sound. So I'm picturing him like a low operatic bass, just with less melody involved. Okay, let's just keep going. Here we go. I'm not catching too many of the words, but, we'll get there. Here we go.
Devil cracked the earth, the shelf, and told you was the one. You walked into the room and said you had to live before you die young. earth, yourself, I told you was the one. Open to the room, I said you have to live before you die young.
Okay. All right. I'm just letting all of this sink in here. All right. We had some melodic vocals. All right. Even some harmonies in there by another vocalist that came in later. So this is very much like Ginger. I reacted to her song Pisces on the channel. It's a long time ago. That was way back. Probably over a year ago when we first started the channel. But it's that growling technique. And I was impressed with Ginger because she has a higher female voice, and then she's able to get this low growling. So he has a lower male voice, and so his growling is even lower. And so I'm impressed with the subtones that are in that. Oh my goodness. I guess there are overtones in it too, you know, higher and lower. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do that. Like I'm not even sure I want to try. I'm afraid I'll hurt something. So, I'll leave that to them and hope that they don't hurt anything in their voices. All right. More melodic material standing out though. I like that chromatic descending line, da 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 da, and then there were some really cool moments with the rhythm section. So I'm just trying to catch on to some of the characters in the piece, and also the lyrics. I'm still thrown, okay, just by the tones and textures of this. So we'll check the lyrics soon. I think I heard the word mother, but that's all I know. Okay. Here we go. Keep going.
Rode into the dark unaware, winding ever
I'm sort of losing track of the form of this piece. It's a long one. It's pretty epic. But I'm still hearing consistent thematic themes, material and themes that are going through the whole thing. So more of the chromaticism, which is more of a broad term, but I'm just talking about how they bum, 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 bum. There's a lot of stepwise motion. And then yum, bum, 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 bum. That's more of the chromatic motion there. The dum, ba, da, da, dum. That's just within the key. But then they really dig in to the da, 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 da. Like, that sort of tight motion there. There's a lot of emotion and anxiousness within that. So what's interesting is at the beginning, I was thinking it was more, tender, sensitive. I was thinking, is this going to be like a lullaby? I don't know. I mean, I should have guessed, Ghost of Perdition. That's probably not going to be a sweet melody, sweet lullaby kind of moment. But I definitely get the dissension, especially that chromatic dissension. That makes sense to me. But then we have the growling. It almost opens up a wound for us. And then they kind of make up for it and try to heal us a little bit as the listener, as they start singing the pitched notes. And I have to say, there were some beautiful moments in there. Starting out with the growling, I don't know if I would have been able to predict that. But yet, here we are. Beautiful harmonies. Beautiful, soaring, upper range head voice notes from these guys. Really impressive and very well in tune. All right, so let's just keep going. Let's see where we're headed. So we're still kind of bouncing around between the different sections of the work. And just when I think I've got the pattern figured out, then they give us something new. But then they do return back to some of the ideas we've heard already. And it's a really good mix. Like, they don't stay in any one theme for too long. There's just so much going on. And I also feel like each section, like each member of the band is really, really getting highlighted here. I mean, you've got the guitars and the rhythm and the vocals and the keyboardist. So I heard some organ in there for a while. It was awesome. And then I'm assuming that that's also where the string sounds are coming from, whether it's a mellotron sound or just a synthesized string sound. I like how it's being utilized both in beauty and then also as more like a pedal tone, which just means it's held. There's one note that's held. It sort of gives it more stance of a character, builds more foundation underneath that moment. Strings can be very elusive in how they are used. You think, oh, violinists just, we play all the melodies, but we can be a stronghold for foundations in the music as well. That percussion section, that was really, really, really cool. Okay, maybe that will return. I don't know. That was pretty brief. It's intense. This is intense. Not overwhelming, at least not yet, but let's just keep going. Okay. Okay, that kind of rocked. No pun intended, since there are red rocks there, but it did. This rocked. That was intense. And apparently this is also the opener to the album that this was debuted on. That's a great first track to an album. All right, well, the rapid, that part, It was mixed in the little tag, the little ending. But right before that, they actually brought that actual thing back for just like 2 split seconds. And I was like, yes! It's that kind of compositional structure that I get really excited about because it's well balanced. I don't know, there's something about getting through a large work like this, and you have to be careful what you bring back because, analogy here, you plate a gourmet meal, right? You spend all the time getting the ingredients chosen and then the amounts just right and the preparation just right, even though you don't have to be perfect, but it's going to be good, right? And you get it on the plate, you clean up the plate, and then you want to put a little garnish on it just to make it look nice. And that's actually where you can mess things up compositionally. When you try to go back through and add something a little bit special because you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to seem too obvious. If anything, you want something to be there that leaves the listener or the eater, wanting a little bit more. Like they want to go back and listen again. Go back and to that restaurant and have that meal again. I was captivated with this performance and the song itself. The group was very well together on a rhythmic standard. That's what I'm used to classically, is just being very precise and very together, whether you have a conductor or not. And they nailed it. It was just right. Right towards the end, there was a place where this guitar line was repeated again and again, and I loved how they all were participating. And when they were done, da 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 da, and their hands would come off of there. It happened several times. Let's go back and hear that. Oh, that was that's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, see, they brought the strings back in, the strings, and the vocals. And this call, this is a call. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that wasn't the right spot, but that's okay. I'll talk about this first anyway, and then I'll go back. So this call, I haven't looked at the lyrics. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I will do that here in just a moment. The music is speaking to me enough. I'm hearing something about mother, and I'm hearing something about death, and that kind of is enough for me to formulate some sort of atmosphere here, especially with the title, Ghost of Perdition. Perdition is like damnation, I guess, would be the right word. Dissension, which just matches those descending lines just right. So, this call, that right there, it's beautiful, and it's seemingly coming from the depths of a soul. And it does really contrast well with the growling. We need that call to be there. And it's especially beautiful when they take it up the octave. And the instruments are like call and response, kind of echoing it. In fact, let's just hear just a little bit more. I promise I'll go back to the guitar line that I was talking to, but let's just finish this out first. Gorgeous head voice up there for these guys. And that's more of a chest voice. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so the call is just like the undying call here. So let's go back a little bit further. Let's try to find that bass line that I was talking about that's so impressive. It was right around when there was a little guitar solo here. Lead singer here, Michael, I'm not sure, Michael, very talented. They're all very talented, but let's hear this. I think it's here. Yeah. Nice. He's got a finger vibrato. And then, oh, look at that, love that. Where he's touching the strings with his right hand. Nice. So easy, so smooth for this guy to play. Okay. That. See how he took his hand off of there? That's the guitar riff I'm talking about. Yeah. More and more of them seem to keep joining in, and each time it's perfection. Yeah. Especially how it goes da-da-dum, ba, like that. It's so great. Kind of messes with you with where the ending note's going to be. It could be da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba. But instead of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba, ba, like that. Excellent. Okay. So before we do anything else, let's look at the lyrics. You can't totally blame me for not catching the lyrics. There was a lot going on, and I wasn't able to pick it up very well with the growling especially. Okay. Ghost of mother, lingering death. Mother, death, okay. Ghost on mother's bed, black strands on the pillow, contour of her health, twisted face upon the head. Ooh, okay. Ghost of perdition, stuck in her chest, a warning no one read, tragic friendship, called inside the fog, pouring venom brew, deceiving. Devil cracked the earthly shell, foretold she was the one. Blew hope into the room and said, you have to live before you die young. Holding her down, channeling darkness, hemlock for the gods. Fading resistance, draining the weakness, penetrating inner light. Wow, it's quite an internal battle here, I think. Rode into the dark, unaware, winding ever higher, darkness by her side. Spoke and passed her by. Dedicated hunter waits to pull us under. Rose up to its call. Is that like The Undertaker? Death. In his arms she'd fall, mother light received, and a faithful servant's free. In time the hissing of her sanity faded out her voice and soiled her name, and like marked pages in a diary, everything seemed clean that is unstained. The incoherent talk of ordinary days, why would we really need to live? Decide what is clear and what's within a haze, what you should take and what to give. Ghost of perdition, a saint's premonitions unclear. Wow. Keeper of holy hordes, to see a beloved son in despair of what's to come. I think I did hear the words, beloved son. If one cut the source of the flow and everything would change, would conviction fall in the shadow of the righteous? The phantasm of your mind might be calling you to go, defying the forgotten morals where the victim is the prey. Okay, yikes. That's super dark and deep stuff, which I would expect nothing less from the title, Ghost of Perdition. And I guess death metal, focusing on subjects like this, sort of representing them through music. So what is the draw? Is it the excitement of facing these things? Is it the emotional connection? Is it a way maybe to even disconnect emotionally from yourself and just sort of deal with it through the music? Is it the rhythm? Are there stories out there that back up all of these lyrics for these groups? So many questions. If you know any of those answers, feel free to put them in the comments. I feel like they're talking about a woman who was very, very repressed, suppressed, oppressed, very, very down, and maybe very disappointed and kind of at the end of her rope. But then something about her son. So she worried about her child. Is there not a great story behind the child? And why are we defying the forgotten morals? Is this, gosh, like fighting temptation, or maybe a past of temptation and trying to live better but not being able to do it? And I just see like fog and haze and incoherent talk. This woman, I feel, is just really, really having a rough time. You have to live before you die young. So maybe regret of how she spent her life. The mother could be just a metaphor, or it could be a woman in old age looking back. I don't know. But what's really neat is that the music could depict all of that I just mentioned. That's really impressive. I really do love when music can really transcribe a feeling, an emotion, a scene. It doesn't have to be literal. It's just the atmosphere of it. So I want to take a look at this lead vocalist. He's something. So first, let's hear the growl. Yeah, so you can see how much depth there is there in that sound and how much he's opening his jaw to make that happen. With singing in general, to actually get like a formal choir or solo sound, everything is actually kind of the same. So you have to open up your mouth and your throat and have a resonance in there. And that basic shape basically kind of needs to stay the same in the back. And then all that changes is just the very surfacey mouth shapes, just for the consonants and a little bit of the vowel sounds. But you don't want too many closing, diphthongs. We don't want that because it closes off the resonant sound. And so you can sort of see him doing that, or like rah, 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 instead of rah, 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 rah. Like he's taking advantage of being open as much as possible to get the sound out. So then when he starts to sing actual pitched notes, it's quite different. I was expecting him to have a more lower bass voice, but no, he's sort of mid-range, like baritone, which is like a higher bass. And he actually sings really forward and closed when he's singing the notes. It's very interesting, an interesting contrast. So let's move forward to when he starts to do that. See how close his mouth is? Yeah. Love those chord changes there. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, so when he's singing the oohs, those are nice and projected there. But I guess what I'm trying to say is he goes so far to the opposite end of the spectrum, from the growling openness to when he's singing, he's so closed off. Da, 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 almost like that, like he's almost not even opening his mouth. And because of that, the resonance is not there. And the sound actually is kind of pushed up, so it's more of a nasal sound. And so for formal choir singing, choral singing, where we use like that soaring cathedral tone, that is the opposite of what we want to do. We also don't want to be scooping around that sort of motion. It's da, 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 very, very slidey and smooth. So to me, that technique of singing actually is more amateurish, but only because that is a style of singing that a lot of people just naturally do. I know I did it when I was first starting to sing along with stuff, songs that I liked. That's just what we do. And for some reason, we don't do this naturally, where we know instinctually to open up and project. Like, we have to be taught those things. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just a certain style, the more open technique for certain types of singing and choral music. So for this, he just went with that instinctual kind of singing, and he makes it sound really good. His vibrato, which is ah, that. So straight tone is ah, and ah, that's vibrato. His vibrato is very well controlled. And then in general, he just has a really great tone to his voice, so he can sing down here, but then that sound up in his head voice up there, almost falsetto, is just really gorgeous. So of course, when he starts singing that way, you're going to bring the strings in. I can't resist. Okay, let's see. I think that's the main thing.
Rode into the dark
Yeah, see, he's all closed off and it's hazily. He's scooping. Gorgeous vibrato. Interesting key changes. Oh yeah. It's gorgeous. Oh, and it just... Ooh, that harmony up there. Gorgeous. Cool. Guitar tone up there. Nice. Okay, yeah. Well, that's a fun string line. So I know that that's a synthesizer. I mean, it could be pre-recorded. I know Nightwish does that, has the pre-recorded symphonic parts from really high-level orchestras. This would be a fun gig, though, to be able to play some of these string lines for real. Have to be sure and have our earplugs in, though. And I also have to say that he has a gorgeous voice. Like, he would be awesome in a formal classical choir. Like a contemporary, straight-toned, blending choir. He would be a very valued member of that choir. Okay, that was Ghost of Perdition by Opeth. I really liked this one a lot. Wasn't so sure at first, but by the end I was definitely hooked. So I definitely hear the death metal influence. I wonder what they used to sound like. Apparently they were like full-on death metal at first. This is sort of more the progressive side of them, I guess, here. And it's different from other progressive metal that I've heard on the channel so far, like Dream Theater. But it also has hints of sort of the symphonic metal, like Nightwish. So this is fun to sort of just add to the mix here and see what else is out there. But overall, it really is a talented group of musicians. They're just rock solid. So will this go on my playlist? Yes. Yes, it will. I will openly admit that the growling part, it's impressive. It's an impressive technique. Just 'cause I don't know how. I don't know how they do it. But it's not my favorite moment in this song, but the rest of the song is really, really fantastic. It makes up for it, in my opinion. But the growling sound could eventually sort of grow on me a little bit. We'll have to see. That's why it'll go on my playlist, so I can test it out and see where it fits into my musical taste. So thank you for joining me for this fun little adventure. Be sure to check out all my other videos of other metal on the channel. It's steadily growing. But for now, as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.